Hey, how's it going? I've got a little bit of a problem. See this shelf up here? I'm very proud of this shelf. Put it up myself, built it from scratch. Shelves were one of the first things that I started to build and understand that, oh, I can customize my space to my needs, and it's actually something I enjoy doing. See, the thing is, there's a little bit too much stuff on this shelf. Too much stuff for my liking, at least, especially over in here. You'll notice the film bin over here is placed a little inconveniently, especially because I access these three things far more than I do it. So that is part of the motivation for making some space. My desk used to be in the opposite corner where I had a much smaller desk and thus much more shelves. And when I moved to this corner, I still have not one, but two of these tiny little mini shelves. And I'm thinking I might put these up over on this left side. One of them is going to become the film shelf. The other one, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I think I want to get it on the wall and then kind of let it inspire me for what should go up there, because the ultimate goal is to free up as much desktop space as possible. And if we have enough time, there might be a third shelf in the mix. We'll see what happens. Now, even though these two shelves were made weeks, if not months apart from each other, miraculously I managed to space the brackets out in more or less the same distance. This one just has a little extra on the ends, but I think what I might do is trim these ends off and then line them up with this edge over here. Now, obviously we might interfere with the lamp. The lamp setup is shady as is. This clamp isn't doing nothing. It is what holds it there. So this might encourage me to fast track a more permanent lighting solution, but spacing these out evenly to leave enough space on this top one for my film camera, boxes of extra rolls of film, and then this bottom one, its purpose is soon to be discovered. But first, we need to head outside so I can make some cuts. This may very well be the easiest time I ever have cutting with the pole saw, since these brackets will serve as a nice little jig to keep me centered. Oh yeah. Nice and smooth. I'm gonna cut the rest of it on this side so I don't accidentally send some wood scraps down into the grass. Boom! And now for the other side. I know some of you real woodworkers are cringing right now, but I don't have a workshop. I've got a small LA apartment with a respectable balcony, so that is what I will be using. And just like that, two of the smoothest cuts I've ever made with the pole saw. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Denver, who on my first shelf video commented on my quote, hacksaw for ants. Well, somebody stepped up their saw game, and while I'm over here, I'm going to grab a few of my hand tools for making sure we get these shelves in the right spot. Now, in order to get the proper positioning, I'm going to have to do some work over here. Probably have to move this light down a little bit, move my D&D Mini and some other stuff just so I can measure properly. Oh, Statue of Liberty. I forgot you were back there. There should be good. And then if I put you in there, that's plenty of vertical space. So all you need is one corner before you can get to the drilling. There's a part of me it's a little excited for the day when my video reaches the Power Tool Snob community, because they're gonna see a white boy like me getting creative with a Ryobi tool, and they're gonna rush to tell me how awful garbage it is. It's not even gonna last long. My dad bought me this drill when I was like 17. Still works some odd 7 or 8 years later, and you're telling me I can use the same battery for my drill, my hot glue gun, and my vacuum cleaner? Come on, the value proposition is next level. And as far as screws go, I prescribe number 10 1.5" Phillips head screws. I haven't made the switch to Torx head screws yet, though I do see that on my horizon. Not sure if you can see it. I did have to adjust the hole a little bit, but it's a good thing we work in pencil. Nothing left to do now but do it. Okay, that was interesting. Not sure how well you can tell on camera, but the screw went in at a little bit of an angle. You can see there's a little gap between the shelf and the wall there, but that should be fine, right? Yeah, it'll buff out. Well, the underlighting does make it look a touch sinister. The next step, obviously, is we take our customized level that is entirely too big and put it on, and then we mark another hole. Security deposit, we don't know her. Backed that screw out just a little bit because I was worried about sort of bending the wood. Yeah. It's a fun sound. And just like that, she's sturdy. I said I wanted this to be a quick video, and it looks like we're going to be about getting there. I hurt my shoulder at work yesterday, and part of the difficulty of screwing that in was that it just started to kind of feel a type of way. So, as I said, this top shelf has a prescribed purpose. That's going to be for my film camera and a couple of rolls of film. Now the camera is the tallest element of it, so honestly, yeah, I think we just stack them right on top of each other. I got no problem with that at all. And boom. And we rinse and repeat. Oh yeah. Oh, that shoulder. All right, now that we've got those up, let's get this little restored back to normalcy, starting with this lighting, because the shadows going up is driving me insane. You know, Van Neistat said in one of his videos that cleaning up is the reward for a finished project. Now, I don't think that I quite agree, but I can't argue that it helps to make the space a little nicer. I know my mom is just elated to hear me say that at the ripe old age of 24, after having quite possibly the messiest bedroom in the Midwest growing up. I think as well, something as integral to me as my film photo camera deserves a little bit more of a dignified position. And these shelves are just the perfect little depth for some extra film. I like that. I like that a lot. I really like how that looks. And it's just right there. Excellent. So I think for the second shelf down, I'm going to address the sort of hoarding situation happening in this corner. Specifically, if I move some stuff out of the way, this little stack of game consoles in the corner. I would like that could stay in the case, but that case dominates far too much of the shelf. So you will have to come out of your cage. If I stack these, not quite. How about the DS's? Okay, that's a win for the DS's. Those can go. Ow! I just took the top off of Lego Knuckles with my elbow. 1 second. Blew his stuff smooth off, but nothing a little pressure can't fix. There's really not great positioning for these over there. I do wonder, I have my Game Boy Advance SP that I actually play. It's a little too tall. See, there is a benefit to planning stuff ahead of time, but I wonder if I could fit some of my decks of cards over here. Now, hey, that looks like a perfect fit to me. It's like it was supposed to be there. And the Game Boys will have to find another spot, but I'm quite happy with how that looks. We could call this corner an ode to not quite the time before personal electronics, but an ode to things that iPhones have replaced, I guess, would be the most apt name for it. Frankly, I do feel like I'm on a bit of a roll with how well those decks of cards fit in there, so I'm going to put up another shelf because I've got this big one from before, and it is the perfect width for my hand tools. Fit right in there, and I should be able to line up the bottoms of both of these if I get this in the right spot, which would visually sort of satisfy and leaves the center open for the camera mount that clips up there. And I think I can get away with doing this one without anchoring it, so that saves me a lot of hassle. Let's get to it. Sparing you the gory details, just like that, we've got a shelf, and oh man, that is such a satisfying fit up there. Oh, it looks so good. And as well, I've just freed up almost an entire corner of the desk. Now, this is the less fun part when I have to clean up, but that's fine. Also, had an entire other bottle of these screws. So, bumped the height adjust button with my hip. Let's get cleaned up and get a proper after picture of this little organizational project. And just like that, we have, in my opinion, far improved the desktop experience. Obviously, this side still needs some more organizational help, but we've preserved a little bit of what I call the fidget corner, and just opened up this whole side of this space. And in my opinion, this just has much better feeling to it. The feeling of a workshop where what I have is a corner of an apartment living room. But it is a corner that I will continue to be happy with and will continue to improve upon and iterate upon. I want to thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, then, you know, sucks to suck, I guess. I promise not every single video this year is going to be me working at this here, but some days I just don't want to leave the house. I'm sure you all can relate. Anyways, I will see you next time.